I'll be
Okay,
Lord
so
Farquaad and slide in my DMs. I need you to be like Shrek. Shrek cared about Fiona. I need you to be like that. Lord Farquaad did not care about Fiona, and he was a rude, short ass nigga. Like
yeah,
the fuck, he was like 2 feet tall. Like the fuck, and he had a strong ass face, like handsome Squidward. Like nobody would have be with your ass. Like get the fuck out of here.
yeah.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Not That Complicated. It's Tejah.
Jametra
and Morgan.
What do you do?
Hey
What's
guys.
happening? Welcome back to another episode, you guys. Welcome back. It's Wednesday. If you're hearing this. Woo, woo, woo. All right. So, if you're new.
Oh my God, if it's
what's up?
Wednesday, that means it's almost my birthday.
That is true.
It's going to be almost my birthday, 2 days before my birthday. 1 day.
We love that for you.
We do. We stand. Then everyone in this group will be the big 2-4. Boom. So, if you're new, welcome. If you're not, you already know what's up. What'd you say?
About time.
Oh, okay. I thought you said something else. I was like, My bad. Okay, so we like to start off with our icebreakers. Pew, 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 pew. Let's get this ice broken in. Okay.
That's all. If you got to be like,
Please no. All right, what's the icebreaker?
yeah. So today's icebreaker is another would you rather. I'm just the easiest to come up with. So, would you rather lose the ability to hear or lose the ability to walk?
What the fuck?
That was a lot.
I thought she was going to do hear or sight. I didn't know she was going to say hear or walk.
First of all, I am not ableist. I love all people because the Bible tells me I should. I was just afraid. Now, of course, it's a weird phobia.
Yeah.
I know.
Newsflash.
But I don't know what it was. It's like a part of. I know
How
this
do
is
you
very
even know that you're deaf? Like, how
like,
did you know to be scared of a deaf person?
Or something, I would just be like, oh, I don't. Oh, okay. I will never
do a sign language.
Wait, pause. Okay. I distinctly remember watching American Idol, and there was this guy on there named Elliot, and he was deaf in one ear, and I could never watch his performances because it made me feel uncomfortable, and I really just don't know, like,
Wait, what. Was he a good singer? Because, usually deaf people, they can't really, their speech is a little off because of them being deaf.
But he had full hearing in one ear, so it was just like.
So he just disclosed that information for like funsies?
I just could not. Anytime he performed, like, I left the room. And I really just cannot explain, but it's just like one day I just got over it.
I'm glad you grew up.
Yeah. Me as a child, I used to have like really bad OCD as a kid. Like if I touched you with one hand, I would have to touch you with the other hand and like keep going.
Glad I didn't know you because I would be like, bitch, get away from me. I'd be like, bitch, you don't have to touch me again.
Like, you remember like True Life? I have OCD. Like, yes. I was like, I would have
I'd be like, no, we're not about to be hugging 5 times to make you feel good inside. Get somewhere now. Get. So I'm assuming you're choosing you're going to be in a wheelchair.
Neither.
No, you have to choose one, Morgan. That's not how that works.
Because I feel like if I'm deaf, I'm gonna have to learn a new language.
It reminds me of the TikTok.
A new language. If somebody like try to pull up on me, I'm not gonna hear it. But then if I'm in a wheelchair,
you can't go nowhere.
I'm gonna do for myself anyway. So I think I'll go with deaf.
Well, at least you wouldn't have to listen to these niggas bullshit. So that's a good one.
And cause I'm going with deaf too. Listen, you're still able to function when you're deaf.
Yeah.
And there's ways around being it. When you can't walk, you just gotta learn a whole new way of life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
your life
People who
drastically
are
changes.
paraplegic, they can't control their bowels or their pee.
Bruh, I didn't think about that. All I was thinking about was muscle.
Yeah.
I was thinking about muscle atrophy and how my legs gonna be so much smaller than the rest of my body, and that is just not cute.
Girl.
I did not think about that. I did not think about your poops and your pees. You got a catheter, huh?
I think that they like get they have to I think they have to have nurses to come in to do it for them. Yeah.
So
It's not like
basically,
you just live
if you're
with a
paraplegic
catheter.
if you're paraplegic and poor, it's basically like, sorry, because who can pay for that?
I thought insurance paid for that.
Insurance is a
Well,
scam.
insurance is a scam.
Well, we are going
Well,
with death.
yeah, I
Yeah,
want to be
well, I'm
deaf.
going deaf. Sign language is easy. I'm teaching my baby how to do sign language, so I could tell you more. I could tell you milk.
Okay,
No,
honey.
just
Everybody know those. Move the girl. All babies know that one. You act like you finna teach them how to be fluent in sign language.
no, it's just like baby signs for like more milk, eat, like simple stuff that their needs and stuff, just so they can communicate that. Okay, so pop
I'm
culture.
stupid.
It's in a book, man. It's a little baby science book. Okay, so we about to do pop culture. Who wants to pop up with their pop culture first?
Sure, I'll go. So, my pop culture is going to lead to a question for you guys. So, you guys know gold medalist Simone Biles. She was in a public relationship with that curly-headed Corbin Blue-looking boy.
Yep. Now she got a
Okay.
new nigga, and he finer. So, he's fine because
Period.
the other one wasn't fine. So he's fine. Period.
Yeah, he was giving me very Metro Boomin,
I was
but
about to say, auntie. Yeah, no, thank you.
yeah. So I remember when she first like kind of debuted her relationship, a lot of people were kind of judgmental, feeling like she moved on too
That was
fast.
quick as fuck. Because like
But we
just 2
don't
weeks.
know.
Yeah,
The
like
only
we didn't
reason why
really
I
go for
say it
it.
is because I kind of know the background ish a little bit because I know someone that knows her, and I
Mhm.
know that I've seen like them not only on Simone's Instagram, like I've seen them on my friend's Instagram. So like it was maybe a month they were all hanging out, and then like maybe a month later she got a new boyfriend, and I was just like, oh well, do you sis?
But have you not broken up with somebody and then the next week was talking to somebody else?
I can't
No, I
talk, but
have not.
Okay.
Yeah,
y'all
no,
remember
but no,
that
I meant
like
to say I have. I
episode?
meant to say I
Oh,
have. My bad. But I
I was gonna
also
say.
no. I meant to say I have. But I think more so it's like the public part. It's like you can't be putting these niggas on your platform too quick. I guess when you're rich
Well,
like that,
that's
you can do that.
my question. I was gonna ask y'all like, one, how quick do you think is too quick? Not to just talk to somebody else, but she's in like a full blown new relationship. So when do you think is like a good time to really enter a whole new relationship, not just like a Joe's? And then secondly, like when it comes to social media, like would you, if you were already in a really public relationship and then you move on expeditiously, like would you also display that relationship?
I think it depends. I think it depends. Cause I think it depends. Cause one, I'm not putting any nigga on my social media. That's just not happening at the very beginning. So I have to look at it a different way. I look at it, hey, I can't. Who am I to say? What if that person that you meet 2 weeks after you and the other nigga broke up is the love of your life and your husband and all of that? Who are we to say that's too soon? So I
Yeah.
just feel like it just depends. If, but
I
I
mean,
will.
like, how long do you feel like,
For you
or maybe I should
particular.
ask you personally, like how long does it take you to like process a breakup to where you're able to move on healthily?
Well,
and not
Jametra, she
worry
cold
about it.
hearted. She don't be giving a fuck about niggas. So
I was
like
about to say,
2 hours,
I
2 hours
was like,
tops.
don't give me that.
trash.
She's not very
Don't give me
nice.
that long.
I think
But
me
that's
personally, I know for a fact that once I've broken up with someone, I've already mentally gone through everything. So when I actually break up with you, like I'm over it already.
Okay, because I thought you was about to say
okay.
something else. Because I would be like, sister, well, you already done this scenario, so you can't really.
All right.
I've
But
already,
what
if
I
I've
will,
broken up, I've already gone through the motions.
Yeah,
Before
I
I
know. That's what I was saying. You've been there. You
but
know, you're speaking
yeah.
from
what are you
experience.
talking about? Tejah?
You know how I'm
But
talking about with Jorge.
G to S?
Yes,
he's
Oh,
Jorge.
crazy.
I was ready to drop him in January, but I just had to
Yeah,
get
I
my.
know. Yeah,
I just
I know.
But
Yeah.
listen, what I will say is because Simone is young, I feel like it's important for because it can be easy for young girls to just find themselves constantly in
Mm-hmm.
relationship and relationship and relationship. That's when
Mm-hmm.
I be like, okay, hold up, let's right. So let's think about what we're doing. Let's think about what we actually want out of life. Let's think about this because there's people who ever really been single their whole
Mm-hmm.
life. They've always been in a relationship,
Yeah, I
and
don't think
I think that's crazy.
that's not healthy.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah,
not.
no.
That's why I feel like because I don't know her, I don't know the situation. I like it depends.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely, for me personally, I think I think that rebounds are bound to happen and they're necessary. I'm not saying that he's her rebound or anything, but
Yeah.
that's why I think like there's really no timetable because you're gonna have a rebound whether it's 5 months from now or 2 weeks. You're gonna have a rebound. Like we just keep it in the book. So if the quicker you get it over with, probably the better. Um, yeah, and if you want to have multiple at one time, that's fine as well. But when it comes to the public part, for me, I think for me, I don't even, as I've grown, if you would have asked me this like freshman year, I don't know if I would have said I would have posted him that soon, but I would have been like, yeah, I post him. But me now, I don't give a fuck about being posted. Like, okay, yeah, that's cute. Like, that's not, I'm not pressed about it like I was when I was younger. Like, I don't give a fuck, so I wouldn't care to post to you. You might not get posted until you die. Even then, I don't even know. Um,
Wait,
hmm.
with the before you move on to the next one, with the whole posting thing, I think it depends. If you're the type of poster who posts your entire life,
Yeah,
and then I'm not posted on there, and
then there's a
I
problem.
know what you just posted. I was sitting right next to you, but you went out of your way to crop it out. Then I feel like that's an issue. But if you are like, I don't post on Instagram or social media
Yeah.
like that, so you
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't be expecting that from me.
Yes,
'Cause-
Yeah.
exactly. And I was gonna say
yeah.
I'm very sporadic. Like high school me, I used to post on Instagram. Like when Instagram was only for people who had iPhones, I used to post
Hmm.
on Instagram like every day. Like every single day I posted a picture. I've grown out of
Yeah.
that. And then I moved like into, more now I post every blue moon. So I would think that would be weird for someone to expect me off the bat to post it.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, nigga, you might get into close friends. You might get in the
Maybe.
Finsta. Like you need to fucking
Honestly,
Okay.
relax.
I'll put
y'all
them in a
already know my
fence.
business, but it's kind of just like in general, on when it comes to like Instagram, my feed is me. So
Mm.
Yeah, like why I need to add you for?
stories or close friends. And also that goes to show like in my last relationship it was pretty public, but it was mostly like on Twitter. Like I don't
Mm-hmm.
think I ever posted like a full picture of me and my boyfriend. He was in my stories, but
Mm-hmm.
we were
Yeah.
more interactive on Twitter. Like we were always Joe's Twitter and we would post each other on Twitter. But
Yeah.
I just feel like as long as you're not acting single on social media,
Yeah, I don't think
like
it matters. Yeah.
I'm cool.
Like if you're not in the motherfucker comments giving these bitches hard eyes and shit, then we good. Then we good. Because when
Period.
you start doing
And
that,
I feel like I would feel more compelled to post you like after you proposed.
yeah, maybe I
Yeah.
might feel it in my spirit.
I say after
I'm
marriage.
kidding. I really would. I would. I would post them if I know we're engaged. Like if we're moving towards engagement and we're engaged, I would post you. I'm over here just fucking flying, and maybe like a couple months after the engagement, because we know how I do. But at least you got posted, right? Not Morgan pouring. Y'all, she finished a whole glass of wine in like less than an hour.
And I don't know how you don't got to pee because I already got to pee
She got
again.
a bladder of motherfucking steel.
No.
Okay. Wow. We already finished our beginning segments. That's actually crazy. So if you can't tell by
Wait,
the
we
title,
only did. Y'all don't have a pop culture?
you're
You don't have a pop
right.
culture?
Okay, you're right. I
We
was
only
like,
did one. I don't mean I
yeah.
don't have one, but
Okay. I do have one. I was like, something's not right. This is too short. Did y'all see that Tiger got an OnlyFans? I just want to know, why did he feel the need
yes,
to tell us? And
and
then
I seen the picture. I
yes,
didn't know the picture was just. I thought the picture was just girls, but then it was a girl licking
eating
another girl's
somebody out.
crotch.
Yes.
And so I
Mm-hmm.
was like, oh, is that kind of OnlyFans? I thought it was just a picture OnlyFans. Like, you know how they be, like, they just show themselves. But I was like, oh, we're
Oh,
doing
this is
stuff.
this is for
Cause he
real.
was like
My
eating
question is
her
like, is he
out.
having sex with all of them? Like, is this like an orgy OnlyFans and he's the only
That's disgusting.
guy?
That's disgusting.
I don't like that because Tiger has money. It's like
I just
I
sent you
remember
the
when
link, Morgan.
he
Sent you the
had
picture.
a
Halls in the Great Hall. I think we must also recognize that the color of all those people. Let me go make sure before I say that. I
There's
uh,
only two girls that maybe have black in them.
yep.
Maybe.
on his OnlyFans.
Yeah, like in the picture, like if you go to Instagram on Twitter right now, I just sent it to you, but I'll show the YouTube. Don't demonetize us when we get
Make
there.
one. I know. That's what I'm like.
But
I don't like
from it, maybe two of the, like these girls, they're probably there's a vagina.
Yeah, I know. I was trying.
their mom.
They might have black. You can't really tell because you don't see their whole face because they got sunglasses on. But they may have some sort of black, but then they not black, and then none of them are like they all fit that that look. So okay, Mr. Tiger. I don't know if anybody's
That's a
subscribing,
lot.
and
And
I'm
is
not.
Tiger? Wait a minute. Do y'all think Tiger's fine like that to be
I'm
to
not
just
gonna
have
lie, I
all these
used
people?
to in like middle school, but that was also middle school Tejah. I
I
think it was
just
the
don't.
You
lips for
dating a
me.
white boy in middle school, so that.
That was even that long. And honestly, I don't really consider that dating because we didn't even kiss.
Close enough. He liked you and you liked him. I've never liked the white boy.
You got that laughing time. I can't talk mess because I had a little fling on my 9th birthday trip on the cruise with Steven from Chicago. And then I also had DJ, and then Pablo. This was all in 3rd grade. It was a wild time.
She's going to jail. She always been about that hot girl shit. We need to
3rd grade
motherfucking
was
catch up.
my exploratory moment, you know. 2 white boys in the he was Mexican, I think. Or Puerto Rican.
Oh wow.
One of them.
You're racist. Just say Hispanic if you don't know.
I'm racist. Pablo gave me $20
Why is you
every
over here
week.
assuming that he Mexican? He was giving you money? Oh yeah, I do remember you telling me about this little boy that was giving you money.
And my mama was like, give it back.
Give me. We don't do that. We don't give niggas money back.
No, I
He
would
brought
never.
Do we
$20
give pussy
faithfully
back? No.
every
So why would I
Friday.
give you these
I'm
dollar bills back?
saying she
I'm
wasn't giving out coochie in third grade.
I was going ball out at
I'm just saying
Sonic.
in
Ooh.
general. In general.
Oh,
If we're thinking about a general aspect, I'll get pussy back, so I ain't giving money back.
Girl, listen. I would say, Grandma, you
I
want
wish.
food? And then I ball out on me and my grandma. What you want? Get anything you want off the menu, sis.
Oh, that was
You
so
She
nice of
didn't
you.
ask you where you got your money from.
want a large slush? You can get a
Nah,
large slush.
Jesse was like, that ain't my business. Ain't none of my business.
None of my
Ain't none of my
business. None
business.
of my. Cause I need to know how a 9-year-old getting all this money.
That used to
His
be me.
company.
I used to go to the flea market with my grandma and grandpa. I used to come back like I used to be in my mama's face or like coming to her like, look how much money I made. I'd be like 20s on 20s. Y'all, I was just selling hot Cheetos and stuff. And I would have all the money and I'd be like, ooh, look at all this money.
Why were you selling hot Cheetos at the flea
That's my
market?
main question.
It was like hot Cheetos chips, like something easy for a little kid to sell. But I also was there
But
to help
why?
them. But I was also there to help them, bring in the people because they used to sell CDs or whatever. Like they used to like burn CDs or whatever. So like that. Hey,
Not
that was just like
rewind,
that was like the
girl.
cover. That was like the cover. The chips in the Tupperware was the facade.
Tejah being the decoy. I am sick. Okay, excuse me.
We used to have the Tupperware on the table and had the CDs underneath the table, underneath the Tupperware.
Yo.
Jail.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh, good times, good times. Man, I used to have them. I used to be slaying
Mm-mm.
them hoes. The hot Cheetos,
Mm-mm.
all of them was getting it. Okay,
Okay.
and
Well,
you
I
said,
got one. Did y'all watch the debate?
yes, I did.
He was like,
Stand up and stand by.
I've been saying this all week now. Don't use the word smart with me.
The way
Yeah.
I feel, and I tweeted this, since Donnie gonna have all this free time on his hands in quarantine, he needs to be figuring out the logistics of the stimulus check. Okay.
Literally, that's the only job he has. And it was honestly, the debate was. I'm glad we have Twitter as comic relief because that shit was a shit show. It was a
It was
motherfucking
very
train
much
wreck.
so.
Because and I was just so irritated with how someone could be as old as Mr. Cheeto and act like a fucking 2-year-old.
You could tell
Like
he got bullied.
like it, and it's like his platform, he runs a platform on just being petty. Because even if you watch his old campaigns, like when he goes to have these rallies, all he does is talk about people. Like when he was talking about Hillary when he was running in 2016 about her having
Yeah.
pneumonia and saying she can't make it that far. She's well, bitch, that's why the fuck you got COVID.
Yeah. Do you think it's bad when people are like, I hope he dies? I mean,
No, I
I
don't
don't
really
care
think
if he
so.
dies. Yeah.
You know, I'm not phased if he dies, if he doesn't die. I'm not necessarily wishing, I'm not praying to Lord Jesus, I want him to die.
But I'm
But
not praying for him to die because I'm not praying for him. If that makes
exactly. And
Me
if it
too.
happened that if news broke that he died, I would be like, okay, anyways, what's
Oh,
next?
speaking of today, I had to run some errands today. Why do these motherfuckers in Douglasville have nothing better to do on a Saturday?
What they do?
Listen, I would never. They on the side of the road, like across the street from the mall, with they Trump flags and signs,
I
not
did see
really
that on your
doing,
Finsta. Yeah. Just
nothing.
had the
But I was like,
signs.
y'all don't have nothing better to do.
It's a nice day
There's
outside. Like, you can't go to a fucking
Yes,
park.
the weather has been nice here, and y'all just sitting outside with y'all place. Y'all not registering people to vote. I understand if you like have some kind of thing that you're doing, but you're absolutely doing nothing. You just
Doing
have a
nothing.
Trump flag.
Yeah.
There's nothing happening here, and I'm like, so
That proves that Trump supporters don't have brains.
This is my first time going out on like a Saturday during the day in Douglasville and staying in Douglasville. So I was like, never again. This is
I
what
like
I
it.
met with.
This is
I'm
proven
staying
to
in the
me
house
why
on
I don't need to
Saturday.
do that. No, thank you.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm. Yeah, that debate was pretty intense. Yeah, it got intense pretty
We're
fast.
in the
And it's just
bathroom.
like, I don't see how someone could support him because he's just a nasty person. Like, he
Yeah.
just, like, when he started talking about Biden's son, he was talking about, which one
I would have came
recovered
across
from, the attic?
He was talking about Hunter.
Hunter,
Hunter.
yeah. Because Bo was the one that
Yeah.
was in the military, right? And
I
the one that
think
was dead.
they both were in the military, but Bo died from cancer. And
Okay.
Hunter is still
Hunter,
alive and was
still alive.
addicted to drugs.
Okay, yes, you're right. And I'm just like, what? Like, why?
Uh,
Why are you like
and my thing
doing
is,
that?
how are you talking about somebody who's addicted to drugs when a large part of your supporters are people who are addicted to opioids?
Opioids, and
And
that's why they're no longer drug testing in a lot of major corporations because they want to protect the white people and those people that's over there working in those
mm-hmm,
motherfucking factories. And
who know
what
they
else
do
do white
drugs
people be
every
doing?
day.
GM and all that stuff. Like
Mm-hmm.
those places. Like, please, please, like all of a sudden, y'all want to stop the
Right.
facilitation of.
All of a sudden, the war on drugs has ended. Now that Mary Sue then got addicted to Vicodin, she can't.
Oh
She
my
needs
gosh.
help. She
And you
needs
know,
help.
this brought up the fact that when people are like I was watching on Netflix, it's called The Social Dilemma. It's talking about social media and all that kind of stuff and the problems we face on social media. And one of the people said something like, I follow people on Twitter that have opposite views of me just so I can, have the exposure to news that isn't basically kind of leans towards propaganda. That's what she was phrasing it as. And I was like, okay, I understand why she said that. Is like she wants to make sure that she gets, news or things, information that isn't only benefiting her. I get that part. But me personally, I cannot. I can seek out information that's not strictly like the democratic or the way I believe. But I cannot and I will never knowingly follow someone that is Republican and that also supports Donald Trump. I simply
Period.
cannot.
No.
No, I would never.
I,
I would never.
I unfollowed y'all friend for reposting Tory Lane's song. So, and
Like,
I blocked her.
You're using friend very loosely.
Well, the person y'all went to college with and let y'all know. How about that?
I said I went to college with.
She might have been our dislike because we got our first dislike this
yeah,
last
bitch, was
week
that
on the
you?
last week episode. Hey,
I can see it.
if you want to come on here and talk about it and tell us why you dislike them,
We could talk
because you
about it.
can't dislike me.
The
You
call-in
can say it.
because we
Right.
already have 2 people lined up.
We do. We do. And I just don't
We
understand
can
how
do
people
it
can
next week.
say that that like people would just they always say like don't people in this generation just stop being friends with people that have opposing views. And it's like, because that's very serious. If we do not align in certain aspects, why the fuck would I be your friend?
And it'll be different. Okay, I'll say this. When you think about it, a lot of older Black people are Republicans. Like,
In their
on their
views.
views, they think Republican views, but they don't identify as Republican because there is a certain amount of white supremacy that has been following being Republican. So if you want to be Republican and think, okay, keep those niggerhood people out of the suburbs, yeah, and they want tax breaks for the middle class and all of those things that the Republicans stand for. Oh, and they're anti-abortion and all of that. There's one thing to believe in those things, and then, but the problem is white Republicans bring their white supremacy along with it. They attach all those negative things to being Black and not necessarily being white, and that's shown in the freaking war on drugs. Because
Exactly.
we immediately, when Black people were on crack, they were, war on
cracking
drugs, war on
down.
drugs. Right. And then all of a sudden, it's like, hey guys, we got to learn how to use Narcan. We got to learn how to use, listen, you can't pay me to learn to use Narcan. I would never, let me tell you, if you white and you overdose around me, you better hope you don't die, because the only thing I'm doing is calling 911.
And you
I
better hope they
am not
come.
using Narcan. Yeah. You better hope we're in a nice area and they come. Listen, because I know at my job they have like, at my job they have, they have like the little emergency kit with the defibrillators and stuff for people.
I'm not doing that.
But they
no.
had it.
I know Good Samaritan laws exist, but no.
I'm CPR certified.
I was gonna say I'm CPR certified too, but I'm honestly scared. I'm honestly scared to do that in real life. I've had to almost do it in real life, and I was like, I knew this. I did the right stuff, like got the preparation, all that stuff, but it was in like it's a high stress and like it's very high stress, and you're just like, I'm telling people on the walkie-talkie, call 911 right now. Like, you need to call them. And I was telling this person, you call 911, you get the defibrillator. And they're looking at me like, it was like, bitch, get the fucking defibrillator. You know where that shit is? The AED. It's on the fucking wall. Go get that shit.
Right.
It was too much.
I feel like I could do it, but I'm into stuff like that. However, the reason I'm not using Narcan is solely racism, not because I'm scared to use it or anything. It's because if Lil John was over here off of crack, they just gonna take him to jail.
Exactly. And barely that. And if his parents got connections, he ain't going to motherfucking jail.
Really not. They're gonna pay a $50,000 fine, which doesn't make a dent in their bank account.
So. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, John was a black person.
Oh, when you said John, I was definitely expecting
It really could
white.
have
I
went
was
either
picturing white. You should say Ladarius or something like
way.
that.
Yeah, Jamal.
Yeah, because when you said John, I just
Racist.
immediately thought of white. Who names their black son John? He comes out.
John
You look like
John
a
is
John.
cute.
Actually, it's
Y'all ain't listen to Lil Baby. He say, Lil John, some just went platinum, nigga.
He did say that. And also Lil Baby said coloreds in one of his songs. So I'm not listening to shit.
He
And
did.
to this day, every time I listen to that song, I
It
can't
was
get with it when he
the
says
first.
yes, he's like he said colors. What he said, because I always remember the all whites
He
not
said,
racist. He said coloreds.
"Is
What the fuck did he
my
say?
color, my still." I don't know what he said, but
He said something about
also,
coloreds. I said, excuse me?
he said all whites not racist and colors not something, and so
Yeah.
I was like, next.
Coloreds?
Who's colored?
Who? I was like, well, you're obviously with the white people because you just said coloreds. Because
Is that white propaganda?
white propaganda. They're using a little baby. They're using motherfucking little baby. They know we like his ass, so they're using him.
Right. Cause I was like, oh yeah, I love this song. I love
And then
this
he
song.
said coloreds, and I was like, huh?
Who
And then I
colored?
went back.
I was like, what's a color? I will say I did do
Just
that.
in black and white.
I still like that song.
Me too.
I
It's
still
come
like
a whole way of
I
life.
still like
Can't change overnight. Y'all know I don't know the words. March our
that.
somewhere. We didn't have a hell of a year. God is the only man
Might as
I
well make it
fear.
count while I'm here.
Yeah.
Might as well make it count while I'm here. Yeah.
Can we not?
Okay. All right. Well, I guess we're done with our introductory thing. So let's get into
we
the
know about
topic. So if you can't tell by the title, we're talking about boundaries. You know, I felt like this was an important episode to have, specifically specifically for me, because I've always struggled with setting boundaries, keeping those boundaries. And I know I'm not the only person out there. So, you know, if you're listening and you resonate with that statement, this is the episode for you. This is not one to drag you. This is one to teach you. This is one to let you know that boundaries are important in all relationships, platonic and romantic. Also familial. You have to have boundaries across all types of relationships. And you know, I've learned that. So I want other people to learn that. So, with my first question, how do you guys effectively communicate your boundaries? Because that's just something I have a problem with. So I want to know how other people do it. I've kind of asked this on my Finsta, but you know, the only person that answered was Morgan. Everybody else was like, fuck me. So whatever. I just be trying to have nice
I
heart to
didn't even
hearts.
see it.
And people be just like, fuck you. And I'll be like, okay.
I didn't even see it. I would say I probably don't. I probably don't set. I know in my head like what my boundary is and what I'm willing to deal with and what I'm willing to not. But I don't know that I tell somebody like, "Hey, we not finna do that," because before we even get there, I'd be like, "All right, peace out." But so I don't think I do.
Okay, what about you, Morgan? Yeah, Morgan does.
I'm gonna let you know what we're not about to do. I think I set my boundaries the most consistently in romantic relationships or lightweight romantic relationships, Joseph's, whatever. Because I think you need to know early on what this isn't about to be. There's a lot of things that we're not about to do. And I just say early on, like, I start off simple. It's kind of just like, if you're going to be a certain way or act a certain way or treat me a certain way, please expect to be ghosted. I'm going to block you. Period. If we get further and there's a conversation about the physical aspects that come into play when you're in a relationship, boom, not happening. Next topic. Like, I'm pretty straightforward because I just feel like, what are you going to tell me like, oh, I don't accept that. Okay, blocked.
So
Just
are you saying, you're faced with a situation and you realize that they're coming close to your boundary, you tell them, or you just be like, hey, I just met you and this is my boundary?
okay. Are you asking? Do I state the boundary if it becomes a topic, or if I just chase it head on?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you just go head on.
For my normal across the board boundaries, I let those be known, like just regardless.
Mm,
But I'm sure you all have experienced, you start talking to a guy, and some guys earlier or later than others start trying to bring physical things into the conversation, pretty much to try to test your boundaries, to kind of see
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
are like, are you somebody they could have sex with sooner rather than later? It's all pretty much a
Mm-hmm.
test. And I just shut that
Mm-hmm.
down day one, because it's kind of just like, no.
See, when I face that situation, I just stop talking to them because I be like, you think I'm some kind of hoe you can just fuck off on?
Mm-hmm. I'm only a hoe on my
So
terms.
don't, right. Listen, it'll be different if I was initiating it, but like if we have a regular conversation, or if it's like that's the first interaction we have with
Yeah.
each other, and then
Mm-hmm.
that's fucking weird, and then that's when I'm like, peace
Yeah,
Peace
out.
out.
completely inappropriate, like you don't even really
Hmm.
know my last name and you're bringing something like that up, then
Mm-hmm.
absolutely I'm blocking you. But if we've been talking for a little minute and you try to like teeter totter on the line of just trying to figure out where I'm at
Mm-hmm.
mentally when it comes to like physical boundaries, then I'm just going to let you know, like, this is what I'm not about to do with you, just so you know. And if you choose whatever you choose after that, that's cool, because I've already made up my
Mm-hmm.
mind. It's not changing.
Exactly. That's actually good because me personally, a lot of the times, I'm not very, even though I'm a very aggressive-ish person, I'm not very forthcoming with my boundaries. Mine have, in most situations, they've only come about if someone did something and I'm like, I don't like that. And a lot of
Yeah.
times, either I stop talking to them or I state it and then I stop talking to them. And I want to work on, better ways to communicate my boundaries in the beginning because, like people don't know. Like, I mean, I can't fault someone for not knowing, but it's also like that's a boundary of mine. So I can't, it's like, ooh, I don't know. Ooh, go
I
away.
think, and I told you this because we had like a quick conversation, and I told you these niggas don't have a heaven or a hell to put you in. So say what
Right.
you got to say, and that's just it.
Yeah.
Because
I
what
think
do not talk to you?
for me, it's not even it's not even their reaction. It's more so, I guess, kind of their reaction plays a part because when I've been very forthcoming and very honest and transparent with my feelings, or more so like I've just straight up asked somebody like one time I asked this dude like, what are your intentions? And the reason why I was asking is because I was still gonna be dating niggas, and I wanted to be transparent and be like, so what are your intentions? And if you say that you want us to move towards something a little bit more serious, or you're also dating around, I could I could let you know, like, okay, woo, yeah, we're on the same page, or woo, no, we're not on the same page. But he took that
Yeah,
the other way, and he thought I was asking him for his hand in marriage, and I was like, that's not what I was trying to get at. I was just trying to let you know that I'm gonna still be dating these niggas around here, so don't get in your feelings. And if you're not on that page, I don't know what to tell you.
you
So
know
I
what I
think
know.
that's kind of scarred me because niggas
Mm-mm.
don't take that very well. They don't take the forthcoming
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
and the straightforwardness very well. They think they always think there's an agenda.
That's the
Yeah.
problem. They specialize in hearing what they want to hear, because that's not what I
Yeah,
said.
it's
It's
not what I
like
fucking
you can
said.
ask a guy a simple question, or even, I'm pretty sure y'all have both gone through this. Like, you just state something that you just didn't appreciate or that you didn't like, and then it
Hmm.
turns into a fight, or it turns into them being like, "Well, I don't like that." You wait, that's not what this
Minute,
was.
we're not going for
It was
tit for
a
tat.
Yeah.
Just because I say something, you don't gotta say something. Like,
You didn't hear what I said. You heard what you came up with in your head. That's not what I
exactly.
said.
Right.
So
Yeah, yeah. I would say in general things, I kind of come up with my boundaries as they come. And I kind of feel bad about this because I realized this a couple of months ago because I had this internal conversation with myself about boundaries. It's like, what I asked myself, Tejah, what are your boundaries? And I maybe came up with like 2. And I was like, I don't think that's healthy. And well, I don't know how to explain it. It's not that I don't think it's healthy, but it's just like one of those things. It's like I couldn't really come up with it. It took me a while to come up with those 2. And I was like, I know I have boundaries, but I don't know why I'm not stating them or why I feel like I can't tell people what they are. Like, what is it about me or like how I grew up or I don't know. Like, just why can't I state my boundaries to people? Because I know I have them. Because when it comes about, I'm like, whoa, pause on the motherfucking Great Hall. You doing too
So
much.
2 things to say.
okay, go ahead.
Okay. I had to. One, I say I can agree with that. But not because I don't have any boundaries. I feel like my boundaries are situational. It depends on what kind of situation I am, what type of boundaries I have, and so then from there, whatever that situation is, then that's when my boundaries are decided. And then 2, I feel like you have a problem with saying your boundaries because a lot of times you don't want people to be upset with you. Not that it's a
That's true.
bad thing or something.
Yeah.
You just don't want people to be mad with you, have an issue with you. You don't like that. So then it just doesn't.
That's what I told myself too. I was
You
like, I
can try
think
to
you
find
kind
a
of
way
are.
around it.
Yeah. And that's crazy that you say that because I kind of had that conversation with myself. I was like, maybe you're in an essence a people pleaser, not 100%, but in a way you have those people pleaser traits, and that's probably why you have a constant battle with this. And I was just like, that's really interesting.
Like, I think I can be honest. It's harder for me to have the conversation when it's someone that I really like. And it's kind of just like, I'm going to state my boundaries regardless, but I hope it doesn't change anything. And then I think when you're met with someone that you're really feeling, you don't want to throw things off, but it's like a catch-22 because you don't want to get too far without stating how far you're willing to go in certain areas, but you're really feeling this person for everything that's already happened. So you just feel like, I'm not trying to mess this up, but I need to communicate this. And I think for you, when a special guy comes along and you're met with the situation where you're going to have to express your boundaries, when he's the right guy, it's not going to change anything about what y'all already had going on.
That is true.
Because if it becomes a conflict, then that's not.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, because there shouldn't be conflicts with each other's boundaries. Like I shouldn't be battling you about your boundary, and you shouldn't be battling me about my boundary. And I'm not saying those boundaries are going to be solid. They could change maybe over time as you get to know a person and you build trust with someone. You no longer have that boundary with that specific person. But it also, when I tell you my boundary off rip, you shouldn't be defensive and combative. Like it's giving me very much predatory. It's giving me very much controlling. It's giving me very much hell no. So
I've been trying to think of what my boundaries are. If somebody would say, all right, what's your boundaries? I don't know what to say.
See, that's what I was having a problem with. And I was like, is something wrong? Because I know I have them. I know I do. And I feel like they only come up in situations for me. Like it would only have to come up in a situation.
You don't have any boundaries that are just across the board, no matter who it is, no matter what.
I'm really trying to think, and I can't think of anything. For me, it's very situational. I have to think about the context. I can't think of a time where I would just completely, I don't know. Maybe if a boundary, I don't know. I was going to say maybe, okay, I know one boundary where I've I've kind of cut off somebody completely in a way. It's and this was like a friendship, was more so because I thought that they were crossing the line with dealing with somebody that I liked. So maybe in that aspect, I have a boundary, but I can't think of just in general across all boards a boundary because I don't know. Yeah, no. Because yes, in theory, it sounds good. Like I don't want no cheating ass nigga. I mean, yeah, I don't want a cheating ass nigga, but no, I don't want to say that because I'm gonna say I also think it depends on the situation. No, I'm not gonna say that.
No, because
I'm not gonna say that.
that just made me think. That just
it's like you don't just walk away.
yeah.
Try to figure it out, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
That just made me think. Because I was like, I said that, but I know I've been saying this. If a nigga cheat on me and have a baby on me, that's a hard boundary.
Okay.
That's
yes. Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
a
Yeah. Yeah.
no.
Yeah. That's very
Like,
specific.
but
Yeah.
I feel like but that's like an extreme thing to
Dream.
happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's
Yeah.
not just regular life, getting to know each other,
Exactly.
dating. Well, I mean that is dating, but like it's
Yeah, I know
not a
what you
part
mean.
of everyday life.
Yeah. And
So
I
I
think
don't
that
know,
might have
just
been my
regularly.
struggle. Yeah, because I had like
Yeah,
extremes, of course, but I couldn't think of like just
yeah,
a normal, as you're getting to know someone. I think I've had things like when I'm texting a guy and they just immediately just try to get too sexual too quick. And even though like I'm very in tune with my
yeah.
sexuality, it's like just because I'm talking to you doesn't mean I want to fuck you. And it's just like
Yeah, because I
throws
was
me
like,
off.
even if I think someone is attractive and I want to have sex with them, if in a
Mm-hmm.
interaction that's what you're coming at me with, I'm immediately turned off
Yeah,
because I'm just like,
me too.
damn.
like you
We
don't know.
like,
You don't even know me.
yeah,
Like,
Like just for a few examples, if I'm talking to a guy, like some of my simpler boundaries would be, you're not about to start a conversation with me at 12 in the morning. You haven't talked to me all day, but you want to pop up and call my phone at 12? Not happening.
okay.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did start that like later on in my years.
Like there's just certain, and that's simple. It's nothing to do with physical, but it's just where I draw the line. Like that's not how we about to do things. Even if we have no intentions on being together and we just josing, like that's fine and all, but that's not. You don't hit me up just because you're bored at midnight.
That's a good one because I realize I do that. Like if someone hits me up in the middle of the night, I don't respond. Even if I'm up, I purposely do not respond because like nigga, who the fuck you think you are? Because everybody knows that saying. The only thing that's open at this time of night is legs. It's just like one of those things that stick with you, and I just be like, nigga, bye.
Yeah, that's a simple boundary. No physicalities, but I said that we're not doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. I gotta agree.
So it doesn't have to be like this huge. I mean, as we all know here in this podcast, I have much bigger boundaries that I always have to have a conversation about when I am getting serious with a guy. But also when it comes to that, like we'll just talk about it. So when it comes to sex, I think that I've approached it different ways in the past few years. Like there's been times where I would just randomly just be like, so listen, we're not having sex.
Never happening, so.
Or
newsflash.
I wait for the topic to come up and then I'm just like, by the way, we're not having sex. So, and I've gotten different reactions or whatever across the board. So that's why I just kind of feel like when it's the right person for you, it's not gonna matter. Cause it's not gonna be like this groundbreaking, oh my gosh, like how could you possibly feel that way? Like it's not gonna be all that when it's somebody that you could be with.
And I think my problem is like, say it wasn't like immediate that they did some weird shit, because that's easy to just be like, nigga, fuck you and block them. It's more so like when we've kind of gained something. And I think my way of dealing with it is I don't want to say I joke, but I kind of brush it off. I don't take it seriously and I LOL it and I just like, ha, 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 ha. Anyways, but I don't state like, hey, you doing too much. Like, you need to chill out. I just kind of be like, ha, ha, ha. And I think in my mind, I think that they're going to pick up on the fact that I'm like, whatever, nigga. Anyways, but you can't really pick up on that.
That's a big sign of you can't be just friends with a nigga who wants you in a more than friendship way. You. You can't. It's not gonna work. Even if you, it doesn't matter what your intentions are.
Yeah.
It does not matter. It doesn't. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter how you feel about them. It doesn't matter. You cannot just be friends with them because no matter what you want, they're always gonna have their agenda and what they want, and they're gonna try to push it. It doesn't matter what you say or how you react to it, because like you said, you're gonna LOL it and you're gonna laugh it off and be like, "Oh, they understand," and da da da. But
Yeah.
they don't. They don't. They may understand, but they also don't give a fuck.
You're right.
It's like,
You're right.
and we've been in a situation where someone on this podcast was faced with a situation
Fuck you,
like this.
bitch.
So why did you have to? Why you put yourself out there?
Because Jametra is covering her face with her wine glass, and it's like it's only leaving me at this point.
I was being street.
Yeah,
anyway,
bitch, it was me.
I was so basically, Tejah was in a relationship, and she got caught up because the guy she was talking with really wanted her, and she tried to. Well, I ain't gonna lie, she didn't play it off well enough. But the point is,
I was just saying LOL, and I thought you would get it. I thought people would pick up on those cues, and now me knowing that's not the case, and I should have been very more like, okay, also in that situation, it's not like I never once state my boundaries. I think that's also why I thought he would get it, because I had told him before on multiple occasions, like,
Yeah.
I it wasn't like I didn't. Like, it wasn't like that was the first time
But
he said
it wasn't in writing like the rest of that shit
but
was.
he's a nigga that wants to. So at that
Also, and no, but sometimes it was in writing, because I told him like yeah, I'm
Well,
like,
it
this is a
wasn't in the
relationship
writing that we were
yeah,
presented
that you
with.
saw.
We didn't see that writing.
Yeah. Because like that person I told, I was like, I'm in a relationship and I really care about this person, and I just like, and they would tell me that's why it was kind of like a confusing thing, because they were also acting as a friend, because they were like, I completely understand, we're in like situations with people that you really do care about and you don't really know what to do. Like, they were also offering advice, and they weren't being subjective with that advice. So I think that was also my thing. It was hard because I genuinely did think of this person as a friend, but they did also like me past that. And they also expressed that, but they were also being a good friend. So I think that was where my why I was having such an internal battle with it.
Because I don't know.
Just to let y'all know, we don't know where the hell we stopped at because we had to take some breaks. I had to pee. That might have just been it. It might have been because I had to pee. Oh no, my Wi-Fi went out. That was it. And then I subsequently had to pee. So yeah, sorry if it's a break in the thoughts. Don't really remember what the hell happened there. So we just go on to my next question.
Yeah, we talked about the first one for a long time anyway.
Exactly. So I've asked this before, like Morgan has answered this kind of, but when do you guys have those conversations with those people? And once again, everybody listening, this is not strictly for romantic relationships. This is also for platonic, familial. This is for relationships across the board, because you need to have boundaries with every person that you come in contact with. I know that, but I'm trying to work on setting those. So when do you guys have those conversations?
I feel like mine's the quickest. I'll say mine is after they do something. They do something and I realize, I did not like that, or that upset me, or whatever. And then because I am confrontational, I would immediately, okay, maybe not immediately, because I'm going to let it fester a little bit. But then after, depending on how bad it was, but then after I'm going to be like, hey, you did something I didn't like, and I didn't like that. Especially if I want to preserve the relationship. If I don't want to preserve the relationship, then I'm like, peace out. But if I do want to preserve the relationship, I, in a very quick time span, let them know, like, hey, you did something that I did not like, and this is what needs to happen for us to get back on the same page.
Yeah. And I would say mine is pretty along the same lines. And a lot of the time I don't have that conversation. Like 90% of the time I don't have the conversation. I don't know when to have the conversation because I feel like it's too aggressive. And yeah, no, I just
I don't care about being aggressive.
It's just because it's just like I've had bad instances when it's not like I feel like the thing is, me being aggressive, people take it the wrong way. and they think that I'm doing this because I want them to be my nigga or I want to marry them. And it's just like, no, I'm just trying to be honest. I'm trying to let you know that I belong to the streets and I'm dating and I need you to know that. And I don't want you to think that you're the only nigga because you might be, you might not even be in the starting five.
Okay.
Hey.
So I need you to know that.
I would say, so I've covered a lot of how I go about romantic relationships, so I'll tap into my other types of relationships. When it comes to my friends, honestly, I don't have many friends that cross my boundaries. And I also think before I consider someone a friend, I kind of get a gauge of who they are, how they move, and they wouldn't make it to being my friend if I felt like they could easily cross my boundaries. Now, when I have had people I consider a friend do something to me, I immediately have that conversation. You messed up for that. I do not accept that. It either changes or we're not friends anymore, period. And I've lost friends, and some have changed their ways, and we've been able to move past that. When it comes to my family, I'm the closest to my mom. So I find it more important to communicate my boundaries to her. When it comes to other people in my family, obviously I love them, but as you guys know, I'm really not a sensitive person, so stuff kind of really rolls off my shoulders. Unless it's something just like horrible, then I'll be like, nah. But with my mom, I think a lot of me communicating my boundaries came from me being in therapy, and I was able to just like really learn more about myself and what I needed and valued in my relationships. So it was kind of like, as I learned about myself, I would communicate to her that this is how I would like things to be. Or if I just think about something that I saw someone else do and I feel like, nah, that's not cool, I wouldn't want my mom to do that, I would just communicate that. And I'm just really blessed in the aspect that I have a pretty emotionally available mom, that she understands and she really values my feelings. So she's accepting of that. So I never have to feel like I can't express those things or they're going to be disregarded or voided or whatever. So that's how I deal with friends and family. And y'all already know how I say romantically. I'm going to just tell these niggas whatever well, not anymore. But I communicate my feelings. I communicate my feelings.
If you caught it, you caught it.
I communicate my feelings and I do it
Y'all, she talking because she don't want to get in trouble. Anyways.
Anyway.
Next caller. So, I mean, I already touched on it. I don't be knowing when to say it, how to say it. It just comes up. And I feel like
maybe you need to stop caring about people's feelings. Okay, don't
say you care too much.
Yeah, and that's why.
And I think I build up a wall to act. Okay, I'm not gonna say act like I don't care because some things I do not care about.
Yeah, that's what I said a few episodes ago. You're all like, I don't care. But the reality is, you care about a lot of stuff. Like, not necessarily whatever we're talking about. I don't remember what we're talking about, but you about a lot of stuff that some people don't care about. Mainly me and Morgan. You care about that kind of stuff, and so you walk around saying, I don't care. It's just like, why are you doing all that? We all know you care. So just say what you expect out of the situation and what you don't like about the situation, so you can either move forward together or move forward without. Don't just be walking around, I don't care about this, I don't care about that, because you do. You care.
Well, it's a defense mechanism. I would much rather build myself up to not care about something so I'm not disappointed. I think a lot of the things, everything my things stem around is disappointment. And I guess this ties into the quote unquote, oh my God, you got daddy issues. But I think the main reason
Wait,
why
do you have daddy issues?
I don't think I have like necessary. I think from how my dad, the type of person my dad was to me, like our relationship, I just don't. I I'm like the type of person that's like I'll believe when I see it. I don't
That's
Okay.
like,
normal. Your parents are
Yeah.
your first examples of
and
a
it's
relationship.
yeah, and it's like for me, I'm just like I don't get my hopes up, so that can come off very I don't give a fuck, very nonchalant. Because even one of my closest friends, Ashton, she said like sometimes Tejah, you come off very like emotionally disconnected when you explain
You
things.
do.
And it's like and then I've also noticed it about myself, and it's like I'm not purposely doing that. I don't mean to do that. It's just because in the I know how it feels to be disappointed and to be let down, and I don't like that feeling. So I guess I overcompensate, or it's just a defensive
Yeah.
mechanism where I don't want to feel that way. So I kind of
Hang on. Let me tell you something, sister. I've been where you are. Okay. I've had this phase. I've been oh my gosh, I don't care. Nothing can face me. Forget these niggas. And although I do stand in my truth, it is forget these niggas. I
Peace out.
I think that it was unhealthy when I was going through this phase. I let my experiences with guys change who I genuinely am. And you can't do that. Because, yes, there's going to be some disappointments. These niggas are disappointing.
yeah.
Fact. But
It is what it is.
you cannot allow your experiences with these men, well, boys, to alter who you are and who God made you to be. And that's just the Fendi facts. Now, I understand that you want to shield your heart from disappointment. You don't want your feelings hurt, and that's fine. But there's going to come a time where you're going to have to just be you. Because let's be honest, you can't meet your soulmate and him fall in love with a version of yourself that you tried to put together with some makeshift tape and glue. It's not going to work. Ooh, that was a drop.
Ooh,
I love you.
that's a sermon if I ever
Hey,
did hear one.
And I just want you to know that it's okay to not want to be disappointed. No one wants to be disappointed, but at the end of the day, you need to be who you genuinely are. And the right man will appreciate everything that comes with. And until you get to him, when a dude really don't rock with how you genuinely are, or he disappoints you, blocked. That's it. That's all you gotta do.
That is true.
Period.
I feel like I'm kind of.
Because
I think I'm on a good track because I've noticed these things about myself. It's more so putting them because there's a lot of people that don't know and they're in denial. I do know that I have these faults and I want to work towards them. And I feel like this time it's like COVID, quarantine. It's been a lot of internal work and just working on myself and really going through those growing pains. And I think my problem is right now I just haven't been able to put it to test. So I don't really know if I've done that work correctly or efficiently. Because I can say all day like, yeah, yo, I'm not dealing with no niggas that be doing this and doing that, but you don't really know until you're in that situation and you react. You don't know. You could say all day what you finna do and what you about to do. You don't know until you really in that situation. So it's like, I think that's my problem is because it's like, okay, I feel like I've worked on myself, but it's like, I don't really know. And I guess that makes me kind of scared because like, what if I fall into my old ways? I don't know, y'all. It's just too much.
But that's like
I completely understand that because I'm in that phase, but just in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's kind of like, I've had these 2.5 years and I think I've made all this progress and I've done all this growth, but I'm about to be put to the test. And that can be a scary thing, but I can check myself and I have y'all to check me. And, you have us to check with your accountability.
I agree with Morgan. It's just like okay, let's go back to when you said like your daddy issues was you just don't want to be disappointed. And my issue was I don't. I don't respect men, like in general, men as a whole. I don't respect them. So when they come to me, so that's where like a lot of times I'd be like, Tejah, you can't talk to that man, and that you can't talk to him like that. You can't talk to that man crazy. That's because I learned that about myself. I was like, girl,
Yeah.
you got an issue with men. You don't respect them. You don't treat them as they feel they need to be treated. You don't respect them as who they are. I talk. Do you?
And
Listen,
I
like
think
you
I
say,
think I admired that about you. I was like, I like how she don't give a fuck about these niggas and she talks to these niggas any type of way. And I think I
but
kind
that was
of,
an issue.
yes,
But
and I
that's
think I kind of
not,
attached myself
Yes,
too much
to
to
that.
that concept of not respecting,
Yeah.
because in high school it's crazy because I used to tell my friends like every man that you come across is not going to be the same. It's not fair to that person for them to be paying, paying for what another guy did. I used to tell my friends that, and it's now I'm that
Mhm.
person that I was telling my friends to. Like, and it's weird, and it's
Yeah.
like it's weird, and I'm just like,
you know what this
ooh,
reminds me
Cause
of?
it's,
Like when we were kids and we were growing up and we would see movies where it's like that battered woman who's just been through so
mm-hmm.
much and a perfect guy comes into her life and she's just like, eh.
a self-saboteur.
As a kid, we were always just like, oh my gosh, like he's perfect for
Why
her.
would she do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we grew up and we went through these.
Well,
I'm sure we've all been through on some level, a traumatic experience romantically. And we are forever changed because of that. But I
Mm-hmm.
think it takes a certain amount of growth and realization that, in fact, all men aren't the same. And although we bash men a lot, there are a few, and I do mean few, and
Handful.
do
where
mean
they at? Where they at? Where they
Where
at?
they
there are
at though?
few good ones. So if a guy comes into
Yeah.
your life and he hasn't given, ooh, child, see, I'm speaking the truth and the devil trying to get into the middle of it. If he comes into your life and a guy has not given you a reason to be toxic, he hasn't given you a reason to talk to him like he a 3-year-old child. He's, you know, really just
Yeah.
been a good energy in your life. You have to step back and be like, okay, am I being the problem?
Yeah.
Because
And
Because
as
I
y'all
do talk to
that's how a
niggas like
lot
they
of
children.
conversation,
true. And
it's a
that's
hard.
how a lot of right. When I tried to let you know that, because I realized that about myself very early on. I probably was like 19 when I realized
I
that,
was
and
like,
I
because in
made an
college, that's
active
when I was like,
effort.
I like the way,
Yeah.
I was like, I like the way that Jametra thinks. I'm going to do that. And I think I probably adapted too
And
much.
see, yeah, you did. I probably was by like 19, 20 when I realized, like, all right, you can't be talking to these niggas like that. But why I stopped talking to people like that, because I was like, listen, if I run into the right person and they weren't raised to not put their hands on women, I'm gonna be knocked to next motherfucking week, and then what I'm gonna do? Just be sitting there looking crazy. And
That
so
is true.
that's initially why I did it. But then it's at the end of the day, the way I used to talk to niggas, they could never talk to me that way. That was never gonna be an option. That was never gonna happen. So then when I used to tell you, I'd be like, Tejah, you can't talk to him that way. You be like, he doesn't even like you. And I'm like, that doesn't matter. I'm not talking about that. Like, we passed that. I don't give a damn. But you just
Trying to
still
defend her toxicity is like top tier comedy. Cause it's like the excuses she comes up with. Like what?
right. She like, you're talking to him and he doesn't even like you. He called you all this and all that. And I was like, I don't care.
Hopefully we've grown, but we'll see.
Yes. So what I said all that to say, I was actively, even though I was on it just with myself or talking to niggas crazy. And then so when I was faced in a situation, it was an active process. Like, it wasn't just something that was inherent for me to not do. I had to think about it. I'd be like, all right, think
Mm-hmm.
about the words that are coming out of your mouth, think about your tone, thinking about how you're handling this. And then I had to change it to make sure that I was doing what I said I was gonna do from the when I changed and all that.
That makes a lot of sense.
So
That
it's
makes
not
a lot
just
of
gonna
sense.
happen. You're
Yeah.
gonna have to actively do it.
Yeah. That makes sense. And I
It's a
know I'm not the only person. I pray I'm not the only person out here that does the things that I do. I really hope I'm not.
Tejah throwing steak.
Like, come
I'm
on,
sure
guys.
I'm the only person I know.
Come on, guys. Come on, please. Please let me know that you're also like
It's
this, okay?
okay. You've done this whole process to morph into this pseudo Tejah. Now you have to do the process to get back to the genuine you and presenting that, and
Yeah.
hopefully you get met with a genuine heart at some point. And
I
I
feel like
know that that's hard, but that's
yeah.
the risk we take.
In
That's
some
the risk we take.
aspects, I have definitely taken on the person that I want to be, because I had these conversations. Because even when I was talking to one of my really good friends, Ashton, we were talking about like how quarantine has, kind of made you think about you as a person. It's make people very introspective. And like one of the questions I ask myself is like, if I were to die today, what impact would I have on this world? And are just people that were around me. And I thought to myself, I was like, I really don't know. And I kind of felt, it made me sad, because I was like, what would people say at my funeral? She talks a lot of shit.
She was throwing steaks and LSU helmets, y'all.
Yeah, like, damn, I don't want that to be the only thing that they say. That she talked a lot of shit and she was throwing steaks at niggas' heads. I don't
I
want
would
that
have
to be the only
amazing
thing
things
they
to say
say.
about you, sister.
Thank you. I really
Amazing.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
I
I
really
would
do.
say that does feel good. One time at my job, a lady gave us, like, me and all my coworkers, she gave us like Easter eggs with inside. It was like nice things she thought about us, and
Aw.
she was like, what about me?" She was like, "It's always a joy to walk into the lab and know that Jametra's gonna be in there smiling." It was something like that. Because I was
Mm-hmm.
like, dang, because I do be playing a lot, and anytime you see me, right, I'm like, not in a bad way, not in a
Yeah.
bad way. But I know that I am the one who's always gonna be laughing. I'm gonna be joking. If it's something funny, I'm gonna laugh out loud. Like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not gonna do it. I'm going to laugh out loud.
She
And
is.
whoever said the
She's
joke
gonna
is gonna feel
cackle.
good about themselves. I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna smile. That's just what's gonna happen out of me. And so for somebody else to notice that about me, it was just felt nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Makes you feel good. Makes you feel the warm and fuzzies.
Yeah.
So, if you guys are comfortable sharing, what is like maybe your one or two hard boundaries that you have? This is for people that maybe people like me, or just you just want to talk about. Maybe somebody didn't realize it's a boundary and they're like, damn, that is a boundary of mine. Just what are maybe one or two hard boundaries that you have across all? If you want to break it up between romantic, platonic, familial, if you want to do it like that, be my guest.
Okay. I'm gonna say I know my number one because I don't know my number two. My number one is I need to be respected as a person. I need to be, you know, regardless of how you feel about what I say, I don't need to be talked down to. I can't handle none of that. I can't be talked bad about. I can't handle, well, not that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
I know what you mean.
if we,
Yeah.
yeah, but I need a certain level of respect, and if that respect is not given, then whatever kind of relationship we have is not going to be able to go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say something across the board. You're not gonna put your hands on me, because I do get active. I really don't care.
I was saying,
I really,
that might not be a boundary for me.
I really do. I've never been met with a situation where a friend tried to put her hands on me, but if she did, that's not something you can come back from, because once I finish beating you, you're blocked.
Not you're blocked. You're blocked.
You're blocked. And
You're
I have the
blocked.
straightest face. If you're not watching on YouTube, I have the straightest face because I
She
really mean
does.
that. I'm saying it with
You're
my chest.
blocked.
You're not putting your hands on me. Period.
But what if you did something first? What if you hit them first?
Okay, so there was a few times in my life where I hit somebody first, but one, they weren't really my friend, and second, it was warranted. Like, I've never put my hands on someone I called a friend. because I know I'm gonna be really disrespectful, and you're not even going to be my friend anyway after, and that's okay.
I can see that standpoint. I could also see. I can see that standpoint. I can see what you're saying.
Thank you. And let it be a nigga, sweetie. I fight back.
Oh,
I've never been put in a situation where I had to like fight a guy, but
on site, I don't give a fuck about niggas.
We know.
Me either. All right, bitch, don't try my friend with you. Don't be trying.
I'm gonna be 100% honest. I've been in a relationship where he gave me a concussion on accident.
Wait, what? Bitch, where the fuck was I?
This was like 2015. Do you remember when I had a huge gash on my forehead?
Wait, no, bitch, I don't. Was this when I was away? Because I don't remember this. I might have been gone that semester. Because I don't remember that, Morgan. I feel like I would definitely remember if you had a gash on your forehead.
I did. It was there for a smooth month. And
wait a minute. No, I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing, Morgan. No, I'm not dead ass.
Basically, he picked me up and I was like, I don't want to be picked up, put me down. And I was basically like fighting him in the air, like put me down. And when he dropped me and my head banged against the dresser and I had this huge gash on my forehead and I had a headache for like 4 days. So, and yeah, things got really, honestly, like from that point in our relationship, I was pretty much over it.
That was Jorge?
But I had to get my get back. Now I really had to get my get back after that because it was like, okay, now I really got to hurt your feelings because now I'm walking around looking like a tomboy. I couldn't even put on makeup because I have this gash on my forehead.
Oh my God.
So, got to get my get back, which I did successfully. I'll write a book
about it
if y'all want.
She did a damn good job at that one. Ooh, my God. If I was that nigga, I would be hurt. Because that was a lot.
It was the crying for me.
It was the tears. It was the begging for me. It was the hands and the knees for me.
Whose shoes are those? You know whose shoes?
She ain't shit. Ooh, Charlie.
I've changed. I am reformed. I am whole. I wouldn't do that to my boyfriend.
Oh yeah, just let you know, Morgan got a boyfriend. I was waiting for her to say it. She got a nigga. So the only people that are single on this podcast is Jametra and Tejah. That don't mean you just start in our DMs because y'all might have Beijing, and I don't want that.
I didn't know we had. We're doing announcements. Do we have a weekly bulletin?
Well, you already let it out. You said boyfriend.
You said it.
You said it. I wasn't gonna say nothing. I was gonna say Nathaniel.
I do. All right, so Morgan got a boyfriend and Tejah got a baby daddy.
But
it's not the same. A boyfriend and a baby daddy is not the same thing. Let's get that right.
But you know how sometimes people say they can always fuck on their baby daddy? That applies to me.
Can I say this though? I have a boyfriend, but niggas still are trash. I just want to put that out there. Okay.
Oh well, they always gonna be trash.
We know that part. That don't matter. You got a boyfriend.
Even little Rose over there, he a little bit slow. Just off GP, he a little bit slow. Listen, all men are a little bit slow because that's just how they born.
Yeah, I do believe that.
Women across generations have said this. They a little bit slow.
It hasn't shown yet, but you know,
it's gonna show.
He a little bit slow. Yeah, and don't wait on it because it's coming.
And do not be surprised.
Yeah, all men a little bit slow because I think it come with a Y chromosome.
You probably said that makes sense.
So I told him like I have this theory that all niggas are either crackheads, demons, or demonic crackheads, and I broke it down.
Oh, I can see that. Yeah,
all men have at least 10% crackhead, and I also explained my cutoff is 40% because once we get to 50, that's a little too.
That's pretty high. 40% is pretty high.
40 is high.
That's high as fuck.
but it's less than half.
If you think of money, that's a lot of fucking money you're losing out on. Mine's maybe like 20. No, because I've
I
dealt with
don't
a
know
nigga
what
that's
mine
probably
is.
like 50
I'm supposed
crackhead.
to say,
I
oh.
was gonna say you dealt with a nigga that was 99. So
Hey, new boundaries, new boundaries, new boundaries.
Okay, 99,
All right.
100. That nigga was pretty fucking close. He was pretty fucking close to 100%.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That nigga was a lot. Ooh. Ooh, I don't know what was into that nigga. He had a lot going on. Ooh, Chale. So, I know
was
we're
drunk.
coming up on our time. So, we can just go into our not that complicated. We about to go into our not that complicated, but I also have to really fucking pee. So, we're going to take a break. We're going to take a commercial break.
too.
All right. So, if you knew, you don't know, what?
What about the word of the week?
Oh my gosh, we didn't do the word of the week. I'm sorry, y'all. This is real ghetto. We are supposed to do the word of the week after we do icebreaker. And Morgan is she's falling on her job. She's supposed to let us know. And she's slipping. She's going to get fired real quick. And we're going to give her something else to do.
Okay, the word of the week is sinuous, spelled SINUOUS.
I thought it was
One
S-E.
meaning.
I did too.
One meaning is of a serpentine or wavy form, winding, or marked by strong life movements, or intricate, complex, which is what I would mostly use it for.
Okay. So when you're using the first definition, is it an adjective? And could you say your hair is very sinuous?
For the first definition, it says the hikers followed a sinuous path that curved around a lake and in between two small hills.
Okay, so an adjective. So I could say your hair is sinuous. I could be like, when I do my hair, I like my shit sinuous. Okay, got it.
Dealing with these niggas is a sinuous process, intricate and complex.
I agree.
So,
shake them knees.
I don't even know. I'm gonna just tap out not anymore. Anyway, what's the not that complicated?
Okay, so for this week's not that complicated is your significant other is in. Actually, I'm sorry. I tailored this to. I thought we was gonna have niggas on this episode. So okay, your nigga is in an accident, and you're called to the scene, and it's very bad. And the first responders say you can only save. I'm sorry. It's very bad. And then when you come to the scene, you realize that there's two people in the car. There's a passenger. You don't know who this passenger is. And the first responder says, you realize that it's a bitch. And the first responder says you can only save one person. And you realize that other person that's in the car, you realize the other person in the car is his side bitch. Who are you saving?
I'm saving the motherfucking girl. Periana. I'm saving the girl. The nigga
save him. I can kick his ass personally.
No.
What?
Save the girl.
This reminds me of that dude from 106 in Park, Terrence, because this happened to him.
Terrence J.
Yes, he got it.
Yeah. Oh, he was in a car accident. You're right. I forgot about that.
But I'm gonna say this: I'm saving the girl off rip because niggas be lying. Yes, sometimes girls know about the man's relationship, but niggas be lying to these bitches about whatever situation they in. Mm-hmm. So 9 times out of 10, that nigga done lie. So girl, go on to live your life because he's finna die. You gonna get saved.
Honestly,
he was gonna die there or
that answer. Because I don't know. I think in this situation, based off my anger and the type of person I am, I would save the girl. But it's like, would I really want to save a person? I don't know her. I do not know her. I don't know anything. I don't know her. She's a stranger.
But what you do know is your man was driving around town.
Riding with this bitch. You're right.
Right.
And really, knowing the petty in me.
Complicated. It's complicated.
This honestly is pretty fucking complicated. And knowing me.
Not for me.
I don't.
I know that does sound pretty hard.
But you have to.
I didn't get the call. I didn't know there was an accident. I was asleep.
I think I'm trying to think like the most authentic Tejah would save the woman. I think the most authentic Tejah would save the woman. Because it's like, fuck that nigga. What the fuck? Who the fuck this bitch is? And I'm gonna be real fucking pissed. And I'm gonna save her and be like, because your dumb ass gonna be over here riding around on freeways with bitches and shit. I'm gonna save her ass. And now you about to go to, I don't even know where you going.
Okay, so is it confirmed that this is his side chick, or you don't really know?
Yes, it's confirmed. You somehow, some way, when you come to the scene, they tell you that there's somebody else. You look at the bitch and you realize that's his side chick. I don't know if there's some other inklings, you saw some other evidence, but you know that it's his side bitch. You know, like it's not, it's 100%. You cannot fail that lie detector test. That is his bitch.
And the reality is, even though sometimes girls be knowing about their girlfriends or wives or whatever, niggas be lying. They be saying, "Oh, we together for this. We together for that. Oh, we about
to break up." Yeah, like she's obsessed. She's a hater.
They be lying.
Like that.
Right,
there's this tweet that's going around saying that this girl, she was like, this girl requested me, but she's private. And we have one mutual. So I asked the guy, who is this? And he said that she's a hater. So, and then not so long after, the girl made her page public and she realized that that's his fucking fiance.
See? Lying. No.
What?
I'm gonna send y'all the tweet because niggas are fucking trash. They are garbage.
Okay,
but if I'm honest with myself, I just, beyond all the circumstances, it's just like saving a stranger as compared to somebody I know.
I think that was my dilemma. I was like, but it's a stranger. I don't know that woman from.
Yeah, it's kind of just.
At least I feel like I would grow a love for this person I'm in a relationship. I would probably love them, and I think that's why I just said not too long ago my answer was to save a stranger. But now that I think about it, if I love somebody,
I'm
probably gonna save their ass. And I don't know the other person.
We just talked about how my sign Libras, we all for justice and equality. No, because you lied, that's what you did.
Yeah, that's her. So she's saving the side bitch. I think I'm saving the significant other. Morgan says she's saving the significant other. So I guess that bitch is motherfucking complicated. Let us know in the Instagram posts if it's complicated or not, and tell us your answer, because now that I think about it, it's low-key complicated.
You need to be fair. You need to be fair. If that nigga was lying to you this whole time,
someone that I've shared so much time with and that I love, even if we don't end up back. But it's like, it's not about saving him to be with him again. It's just like, this is someone I genuinely love.
But then why should I save him?
Compared to somebody, I've never met this person in my life. It's like,
they could be a serial killer.
No, I'm saving a girl. Because he should never lie. He should never had a side date. He shouldn't have been cheating on me. If he wasn't cheating on me,
I would be by your side. You should have known.
You don't know lyrics. Stop.
Thank you for tuning into this episode of Not That Complicated.
Please
on all social media platforms. Make sure you follow our YouTube.
Wait, bitch! You don't know the outro. You don't know the outro.
Cut to it.
You don't know the motherfucker.
Your girl was gonna ride or die.
You should know that I would feel if it could pour
out of in. Doing 5 to 10.
You should have known.
So I'm Moash Co on all social media platforms.
No, bitch. No, we about to wrap this up real quick. Okay? Make sure that you're following us on all social medias. We're at Not That Complicated Pod. Okay? And in that bio, there's a link that sends you straight to everything that you need to know that's very important about us, like our YouTube. If you're a visual person, you might want to watch that YouTube because it's very entertaining, because we be saying a lot of nonverbal, not saying because that don't make sense. We be doing a lot of nonverbal cues that you need to pick up on, and you only pick up on if you're watching. So subscribe and like, do not dislike, because we might fight you. We gonna fight you. Don't do this shit. That's rude.
Friend.
That's really motherfucking rude.
Who dislike us.
It's really motherfucking rude if you dislike
Since
us.
we got a dislike, that mean we on. A dislike
on
mean we
one.
on.
We about to be on one. Okay, period. Because we obviously are those bitches. Because we getting dislikes. These bitches are Haiti. These bitches are Haiti. Ooh.
Somebody get Tejah alcohol, please.
But
Please.
if you're feeling fancy, make sure you're following the motherfucking host because we are the ones that bring it with a toast and we bring it at all times of the motherfucking week. I tried to rhyme and it didn't make sense. I told you I don't know how to rhyme. Tomatoes. Okay, I'm sorry.
At a brunch restaurant?
I'm gonna redo it.
I was like, what the fuck was that?
Okay. I'm gonna redo it. If y'all want to keep up with it, no. I was about to say if y'all want to keep up with the toast. If y'all want, hold on, wait.
Oh, you don't need to do this.
If y'all want to keep up with the host, make sure that you're keeping it up and you're doing it with a toast. You can follow me at SEAUXTEJAH. That was so bad.
And
Go
me
back.
at _JAMETRA. The name is motherfucking Jametra. Because you know sometimes people don't be knowing how to say it.
Moashco on all social media platforms. That's MOASHCO. You already know, coming through the dough, dropping low on the flow. Hot girl putting on a show. Period.
Oh, that's a new one.
Okay, Miss Rapiana.
Okay,
Oh,
just
y'all
because we
know
don't, just because I don't know how to motherfucking rhyme, don't mean you need to be coming out showing out and shit. She's trying to upstage me. I get
was
it.
gonna be mad in a bar.
I get it. She's trying to upstage me. I get it, bitch. All right, we're gonna see y'all next week.
Make sure y'all tune into our Instagrams because we're gonna be putting a lot of content on there where you can get to know us better and see more of us. So
because y'all be in our DMs. I'm kidding,
following.
y'all really don't, but y'all do be in our DMs, and we know that y'all want to be with us, so we about to tell y'all how to get to know us. Okay, because one bitch already got a man, but the other two bitches don't. So what you trying to do?
What you just said 10-15 minutes ago, don't slide in my DM. So which one is it?
Okay, but listen, if you're worthy of sliding in the DMs, then do it.
Don't be Lord Farquaad and slide in my DMs. I need you to be like Shrek. Shrek cared about Fiona. I need you to be like that. Lord Farquaad did not care about Fiona, and he was a rude, short ass nigga.
Yeah.
Like the fuck, he was like 2 feet tall. Like the fuck, and he had a strong ass face, like handsome Squidward. Like nobody would have be with your ass. Like get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I'm with him. So in the end, you can slide in our DMs if you're worthy. So do that self assessment. And make that
you need to do that
decision.
self work like we did. We just talked about our self work on this episode, so I'm gonna need you to do your self work, okay? You be doing a lot of other self pleasing. I need you to just self work that ass, okay?
Thank you so much for listening. We're gonna see you guys next week. Bye.
Period. Bye.
Bye.